Dear students, in the previous class we just discussed about the transformation of sentences. In this class we just discussed about what is meant by this transformation of the sentence and how we can able to identify these types of sentences and what is necessary for the particular sentences. Those things we just discuss in this class. What's meant by this transformation? The transformation, which means that to changing the one sentence form into another grammatical form. It is called as transformation of sentence, which without changing its meaning. Here, first part we are just going to discuss about this simple sentences. What is meant by the simple sentence? What is the criteria it is needed for simple sentence? A simple sentence need a subject. And a simple sentence need a verb, and a simple sentence need a complete thought. Okay. So these three things is necessary for the simple sentence. Here, for example, he plays football every evening. Just as we mentioned, he plays football every evening. Here, what is the subject? He is the subject. And verb plays, and it just makes a complete thought, that is simple sentence. For example, here we just make it like he played. If you just see here, he played, he plays football, or they plays football. Likewise, if you just taken that, in this three statement, it just used to be subject is here, verb is here, subject is here, verb is here, but it does not make a complete sense. What it just used to be made, the verb does not agree with the subject. Here if you just see in this statement, here subject is here, verb is here, and the verb it just agrees with the subject, so it is correct. And here if you see in this sentence, simple sentence, they is a subject, play is a verb, and football. Okay, here the object. If you see here, the verb it does not adjust with this subject, so it's not to be a three things it is necessary: a subject, a verb, and also a complete thought. Here, he plays is a correct one, and he play is the wrong. So subject, verb, and a complete thought, and it makes a simple sentence. The components of compound sentence. What is how we can able to identify this compound sentences? Multiple independent clauses. Okay. What is meant by this clause? The group of words which has its own subject and verb. It's usually called it as clauses. So in the compound sentence, it has multiple independent clauses. Okay. We just used to be mentioned about the independent clause. And joined by coordinating conjunctions just like and, but, so, yet, and now. So in these sentences, two simple sentences joined by these coordinating conjunctions and, but, so, yet, and now, or etc. is called to be as compound sentence. And what's meant by this finite verb and also this compound sentence? It needs two finite verbs. What's meant by this two finite verbs? The verb which just needs to be agree with the subject. Okay, and it just needs to be agree with the subject based on the singular or plural. We discussed about that in the simple sentence. They play, he plays. Okay, likewise we just discussed it the same way. The verb must need to agree with its subject. Then in the compound sentence, it needs two subjects. Okay, it's necessary for make two subjects. For example, here I tried to speak Spanish Here if you just see the multiple independent clause. What is the multiple independent clause? The first independent clause here, I try to speak Spanish is a independent clause, and my friend tried to speak English. It's also independent clause. Two independent clauses and joined by this coordinating conjunction and two finite verb. It has a different verb here as a subject. I tried to speak. It just have a finite verb. And my friend is a subject here, and also it has a finite verb. Try to speak. Then two subjects. What are the two subjects are here? I, and also here my friend. Two subjects are there. The compound sentence needs multiple independent clauses joined by coordinating conjunctions, two finite verbs here, and also two subjects here. So two subjects. These are the components of the compound sentence. The next one is complex sentence. The complex sentence, what is it necessary for make complex sentence? Here, one independent clause. So we already discussed about that independent clause, and one dependent clause, and then two finite verb. Okay, and also two subjects. Two finite verb and two subjects, and it just joined by this subordinate conjunctions. In the compound sentence, we just discussed about that it is joined by coordinating conjunctions, but in the complex sentence, it is joined by subordinate conjunctions. Subordinate conjunctions like since, as, though, although, that, such kinds of words, etc. These kinds of words usually call it as subordinate conjunctions. For example, here the teacher returned the homework after she noticed the error. Okay. So what is the dependent clause and what is the independent clause here? So one dependent clause and one independent clause. What's the dependent clause here? The dependent clause is after she noticed the error is called dependent clause. And what is the independent clause? The teacher returned the homework. It's called as independent clause. What are those two finite verbs and two subjects here? The finite verb is return. Two verbs. Noticed. And what is the subject? Two subjects, the teacher and she. Okay, based on that. And also, it just used to be this one independent clause and one dependent clause joined by the subordinating conjunction. Since, as, thou, although, when, after, and that, such kinds of words is called to be as subordinate conjunction. Here this independent clause and the dependent clause is joined by this subordinating conjunction. This used to be complex sentences. Then rules for how we can able to be identify this simple sentences and how we have to write this different form from if it is in a compound sentence or complex sentence, how we can able to change into simple sentences. The simple sentences, it just used to be three basic things. Those are use non-finite verb. Okay, when we just convert the sentences into simple sentence, we are supposed to use non-finite verb. What are those non-finite verb? Non-finite verb, ing of the verb, ing plus verb, and also participles. Two participles are there. One is present participle So present participle, we already know about that. With the verb, we are just used to be using ing of the verb is usually called as present participle. And the past participle, it is of using ed, d, t. So such kinds of word, it is usually called it as along with verb plus ed or d or n. So such kinds of things, it is called to be as past participle. And then infinitives. Infinitives, what is called to be as infinitives? 2 plus verb. It's called to be as infinitives. So is usually called it as non-finite verb. Ing of the verb, participles and also infinitives. By using these words, we can able to make it as simple sentences. And also, we are not allowed to use conjunction. No conjunction must be used in the simple sentences. And also, we have to maintain the meaning of the sentences. The verb must be agreed with the subject. So we just discussed about this he plays and she plays. Likewise, we just discussed about it. The verb must agree with this subject. For example, in a simple sentence, here, we can able to use ing of the verb, participle, and also this infinitive. We can use it. So here it just used to be written, for example, being ill, he could not come to the school. If you see in this, we are just using this non-finite be plus ing, and also we haven't used any conjunction here, and we are just used to maintain the meaning of the sentences. Here, being ill, he could not come to the school. Here we cannot able to find out the two subject and two verb. Okay. Then compound sentence, we are just supposed to use only coordinating conjunctions like and, but, so, and etc. These are the commonly used conjunctions, coordinating conjunctions. And separate subject and verb for each classes. We are just going to write the two simple sentences into one compound sentence, okay, by using this coordinating conjunctions. Just how we can able to write it? He was ill and so in the previous example, we just written being ill, he could not attend the school. Here, the same sentence, it was just used to be made it into compound sentence. The meaning is same, but we are just used to be made it in compound sentences. Then what is the use of this compound sentences? It has used coordinating conjunction. What is the coordinating conjunction here? And it's a coordinating conjunction. Separate subject and verb for each classes. Okay, here each classes is a independent classes. Here he was ill. Okay, subject is here and verb is here. Then another class, just he is here, subject, and could not attend. Okay, so two classes, and we are just used to be joined by this coordinating conjunction, made it as one compound sentences. Okay, and also we have to maintain the meaning of the sentence. Okay, based on the the verb it need to agree with its subject. Singular subject need to agree with singular verb, and plural verb need to agree with plural verb. They were ill and they could not attend the school. Okay, likewise if it is a plural form. Okay. Then the next one is complex sentence. The basic components of complex sentence: use subordinating conjunctions. We have to use only subordinating conjunctions. The conjunctions like thou, since, and also the relative pronouns like when, whom, and the. Such case of word is usually called it as relative pronouns, and also as and when, etc. Since, so such case of word it is usually called it as subordinate conjunction. Okay. And also separate subject and verb for each clauses. We have to separate the subject and verb for each clauses. And also we have to maintain the meaning of the sentences. Okay, based on the verb we are supposed to mention the subject. Okay. Here, for example, here it is just mentioned that since he was ill, he could not attend the school. Okay. Two clauses here: since he was ill and he could not attend the school. Okay. And it just used to be use of this subordinate conjunction. So by using this subordinate conjunction, we just made it as complex sentence. Which one is the independent clause and which one is a dependent clause? Independent clauses dependent clauses since he was ill, and independent clauses he could not attend the school is a independent clause. And if you just see that in each clauses it has to be separate subject and also verb. Here in this sentence, he is a subject and was is a verb. And here another clause, he is the subject and could not attend is a verb. Okay. And likewise we just identify the simple, compound and complex sentences. Okay. This is where we are just supposed to transform the sentences one grammatical order to another one. Here in the simple, compound and complex sentences, what are the examples we have written? First one, in a simple, being ill, he could not attend the school is a simple sentences. Okay, by using verb plus ing. And compound, he was